welcome back to my channel. I am going to be crocheting a hexagon sweater. I've done one of these before and it went really well and I really loved how it turned out, and I can insert a little shot of what that looked like, but I'm going to be using this Karen Cakes yarn. It's like a lot softer, so it's definitely going to have a little bit more of like a fuzziness to it. Last time I used a 5mm hook, but this time I'm using a 5.25. I also want to specify that I follow the tutorial by Passion Kelsey, so this won't be like a full tutorial. This will just be like my take on it and like how I did the sleeves. And I do like a little ruching in to make them a little bit tighter. And I just want to preface that this isn't a tutorial, this is more like a crochet along with me, and I'll give you some progress and some updates and some tips that I find doing it. But if you want to find the tutorial for the hexagon and the assembly, I would follow her video. I'm gonna have it linked down below, and that'll be more in-depth and more detailed, and you can pick up when you're working on the sleeves here, and I'll tell you how I made them. Okie doke, let's get started. Just a little progress update. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows, and here's what it's kind of looking like. The colors are pretty nice. It's got a really nice purple. It's finally shifting. So then when you fold it, it kind of gives you this, which right now looks like a sock, but this is eventually going to be what goes here, like around your arms. So you kind of want to keep going until it has that thickness. So this is kind of where we're at so far. It's looking pretty good. Here's it folded. Still need to go for a little bit until it fits on my arm. And yeah, I'll come back when I have a larger progress update. A little bit of a change of scenery. I'm in Palm Springs right now. I'll give you a little bit of a progress update. This is where we currently are. This is what it looks like folded. Pretty much for this, you want to make sure that you're building it this way. So like your arm is going to be fitting here. This is going to be going down the side. The other half here, and those are going to connect, and then you're going to be building the bottom portion different and then the arm portion different. You want to make sure that this is fitting around your arm. That mine currently has like 14 rows. With the 3 stitch markers, I can kind of just put my arm in. Obviously it'd be better to do when I'm not already wearing a sweater, but I put it through, and if it feels fine, then I'm good to stop. Here's an example of one that I've already made. So this one I already did, so you can kind of see the hexagon starts here. You build these pieces and you build the bottom, and then you add on to the hexagon from the sleeves. A little bit of a progress update. So I'm showing it to you from this side so you can see that it kind of cinches in here. So we started where we connected the hexagon, and then we continued on. So I've done 15 rows, and I started with a regular and then a decrease in the shoulder, and then a regular and then a decrease in the armpit, regular, decrease in the shoulder, regular, decrease in the armpit. And I'll show you what it looks like with my stitch markers. So when I flip it over, you can see regular, decrease in the armpit, regular, decrease in the shoulder, regular, decrease, regular, decrease, regular, decrease. And then this is my 15th row right here. And then I'm just gonna continue on, I think for 20 rows total. And then I'm gonna work on the cinching of like basically what this little armband would be, but on here. And I'll show you where I'm at for there. Pretty much I just wanted to show you how things work when you're doing the decrease and how I do the decrease for me. Obviously I tried this on, I put it along my arm so I could see how it felt. And I wanted this one to be a little tighter since the one I did before was a little bit baggy. So that's why I did oscillating decreases every other row. Okay, a little bit of a progress update. So I have a total from where I stopped of 23 rows. And now I'm gonna show you how I cinch in for the arm cuffs. Okay, so the first step for starting off the end of the sleeve is you're gonna wanna do a single crochet all the way around. Insert a single crochet into the granny clusters, so it should be 2 in there, and then 1 into the space between your granny clusters. This doesn't have to be perfect, honestly, it can be messy, and I'll meet you when I've completed it. After that, to finish off, you're just gonna wanna do a slip stitch into the very first single crochet that you made, and that's gonna be the end of your round of single crochet, and from here, you're gonna work up into the ribbing portion. Now here comes the fun, complicated part. You're going to chain 9, and then you're gonna insert single crochet. This whole process will be single crochets, and it's gonna be in the second chain from your hook. So go ahead and insert your very first single crochet into the second chain from your hook, and then you're going to insert single crochets all the way down. You can use a stitch marker. Every time I just counted and made sure, okay, I have 8 single crochets. So single crochet all the way down to the bottom, and then I will show you the decrease for the next step. Here's your little stringy so far, and this is where you're going to do a decrease. So you're going to put your hook inserted into the next stitch, loop through, and then the next stitch after that, and loop through, yarn over, and pull through 3. And now you're going to flip your work, and you're going to continue on all the way up again, but only inserting in the back loops. This is what's going to create a kind of stretchy, ribbed material for the sleeves. So you're going to single crochet 7, and then I will show you what it will look like on the 8th. So after inserting your 7th single crochet into the back loops, at the very end, which will be the 8th and the top, you're going to insert a single crochet into both loops. So when I flip my work and turn and go the other way, I'm going to insert my single crochet into both loops on this very first space again. This just kind of eliminates the chaining 1 and single crocheting, and it's going to keep it looking a lot more uniform at the top than if you were just a single crochet into back loops only. So flip your work, single crochet into both loops, and then continue on as normal in the back loops only, all the way down until you reach the bottom of your sleeve again. Alrighty, and here's what little stringy should look like, and I'll show you the next step for the decrease. So you're going to do the same thing again at the end of the round. You're going to insert your decrease into the next 2 stitches, pull over those 3 loops, and then you're going to flip your work and repeat the same process again, where you're going to single crochet 7 into the back loops only, and then you're going to single crochet into both loops of the 8th stitch. I'm going to film the rest of this off camera, but hopefully you get the gist of it, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end and how to join both sides together. Okay, and here's what we have after the end, going all the way around with your stitches and your decreases and all that jazz, and I'm going to show you how to join them. So this is where you just finished off. You're going to want to finish off at the top. And then I like to just join honestly by inserting my hook into both loops and doing a single crochet. So I'm just going to pull through and yarn over and pull through. And I'm going to insert and do single crochets all the way down, and then I'm going to just kind of chain off and attach. But yeah, you can just insert into, you have around, like I said this whole time, the 8 single crochets. So you're just going to want to connect through all of those, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Alright, once you've done your last row of single crochets, I just insert my hook and I'm just going to do a slip stitch, and then I'm going to cut my yarn and fasten that off, and I'm going to hide this string. Alright, and here's what the sleeve looks like. You're just going to repeat this process on the other side. Here's what the sleeve looks like in full, from the body all the way down to the cuff that you just did. You can see your decreases, and that's an overall view, and then you're just going to repeat. Okay, so a little bit of a progress update. This is where I'm currently at. I think that it looks so good. I'm so excited. I really love the colors. So we just did the sleeve, so I'm going to show you kind of like a little progress of what it looks like on me, so you know where to move forward. So this is what it currently looks like. So it goes, the sleeve goes down, and then basically what you want to build now is the portion that goes in the front. So I have gone, I think I'm going to do maybe one more row, but pretty much this is the front, and then you're going to do the same thing on the other side, and eventually this is going to fold to be the little collar, and then you're going to want to do the same thing on the back where you just extend. So pretty much, I don't know if you can see here, but this is where the hexagon ended, and so then I just attached a chain and went all the way down and worked and went all the way up. And again, I'll link Passionate Kelsey because I'm following mainly her, so you can see a more in-depth tutorial for there, but I just wanted to show you how it's coming along in the process. And I'll see you when I have the other half and we're ready to assemble. Once you have the left and the right side completed, it's time to assemble both of your pieces together. First, you're going to attach the left and right side on the back. Then you attach the sides on the front, and you're going to make sure that you leave little flaps to be that little portion at your neck that's going to flap open. I like to start from the bottom and then work my way up to attach both of these pieces together. And here's what it looks like after that. Then you're going to work on elongating from the bottom, so you're going to attach your string, and then you're going to continue to create length on the bottom portion. Here's a little view of where we're at so far and what it looks like on. I think it looks really nice. I'm not going to add too much length to the bottom because I'm kind of enjoying this cropped look. To elongate at the bottom, you're going to insert in granny clusters of 3, so it's going to be 3 double crochets into each little hole, kind of like you did for granny clusters throughout the whole pattern. And then you're just going to do this, you're going to work in rounds, in circles around the bottom of your piece, and you kind of just want to keep going until it has the right length for you. Like I said, I'm going to keep mine cropped, but you can make it as long as you like, and I'll meet you back when it's all complete. Here's the hexagon sweater all complete. I really love the way that the changing color looks with this pattern. I'm super obsessed with the blue, and I had a lot of fun working on this project, and I really hope you guys enjoyed following along, and let me know if you create one of your own.